As I was cleaning up and throwing away lots of books, because I need to move, I found this book about Vipassana, and straight to the page that opened up, hit me, and I want to talk about it, just to see how much I'm practicing. And this is the essay by S.N. Goenka. The sentence I picked up says, "Sensations give rise to craving. If sensation ceases, craving ceases. When craving ceases, suffering ceases." It's a very simple saying, and I'm sure I can find in various sutras talking about the same thing. And without getting into it, just talking about the sensation, and the point he talks about the sensations give rise to craving. So that is the moment that if we can figure out so that the sensation ceases, then the craving ceases, and the craving ceases, suffering ceases. And what's amazing about this, I don't know if you see this amazing, but this is the whole idea, in a way, of Buddhist teaching in one sentence. That's how I felt. And there are lots of underlined comment around, and I can study it, but the studying is maybe confirm certain idea, but studying itself doesn't do good. But it prepares us to look into the direction. That's the core of Buddha's teaching. And I have gone through Vipassana, Zen, Shin Buddhism, and read various sutras. And I posted many videos. But since I haven't posted directly about Vipassana, I thought I'd just make one video, just for my remembrance of wonderful time and the ideas that I got. Yet I'm still in the process of practicing this basic idea. And if you have gone through Vipassana, you may know a bit about it, but truly practicing it, not just knowledge, is the name of the game. And therefore, these words survive centuries after centuries, either through sutra or different disciples of the masters, and on and on and on. Luckily, I went through it, and that tied to what I was going through in Zen, and it is the foundation, so you can relate to that. So what does that mean? The meaning is fairly simple. Meditation is basically about knowing ourselves, and in the process of knowing ourselves, we may think of this and that, but at the moment of the thinking, sensation arises, because you may remember the person or the setting or whatever the situation connected to that thinking, and with that thinking is the response. You can call it the biological response, to say, that's what it says. There's a sensation of rising. Whether we can detect that or not is the big question, and if you can detect that, because that's the beginning of the series of events, from the sensation to craving to cessation of suffering. And actually, Goenka-san talk about the personal secretary, pointing that if you have a personal secretary to indicate you're saying that you are getting upset and you need to observe your breathing or something like that. And the joke was such that it's too late. So the moment when the rising of sensation, whether it's anger or anything, typically aversion or there are three poisons that I talk about that manifest in our psychological behavior. So all of that is related to the rise of the sensation. Aversion or craving, what's the word? But aversion is the form of craving to avert, aversion. So it's the same thing, as far as I can tell. So that if you know what the sensation is coming up and being able to detect by you being here and now, by noticing the change of breathing or inner body sensation, then you can observe what's going on. Awareness and equanimity, not dealing with that sensation. That's equanimity. That's the essence of it. I just want to point, because I don't want to get into much detail to it, but only the point, more perhaps for myself, is when I look into Saichi Shin Buddhism, Myokonin, I can see him practicing it when he says Namu Amida Butsu. When he feels the sense of some anger or aversion, whatever pops up, he says Amida would point him to say Namu Amida Butsu. So it's not his saying, that's what he says. Which means he's not thinking, he's just responding to the sensation by noticing and responding in a sense that the Amida Buddha is going to help him. That resolved the whole thing by not reacting any further, and therefore he can control without him controlling, but by observing himself. So that's the very point. And on this point, I can talk about the mirror mind or any other stuff melting into the nature, law of nature. The stuff I've been talking about is responding or practicing this idea of let the sensation to be without your reacting. Easy to say, not easy to do. That's why it took 10 days of meditation to nail it in your system, so to speak. And I was lucky enough on the 8th day from the first retreat that I attended in Vipassana, I went through this awakening process to realize how powerful that message is. To be awakened, to experience nirvana or nirvana in my way. But still, the habitual pattern may persist, good or bad. That's nature's way too, related to karma, whatever happened in the past, and the root of delusion may still be there. Yet you can still practice, in Saichi's case, Namu Amida Butsu. In Vipassana, simply observing and paying attention to breathing and inner body sensation. So there's a hint, there's a possibility, there's a solution that is shared by Buddha's way in various means, because everybody's got their own karma, different way of how the habitual pattern has developed. So that's the essence of this talk. And I found it's very instructive, and realized when I was cleaning up my room to find this sentence, remembering all the time I went through that course 22 years ago. Thank you.